Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to episode 2 of AjoiA Connects. Today's episode is called Grounding the Nervous System, a way to drop anchor within the choppy waters of anxiety. In the next half an hour, we aim to provide you with some practical strategies for managing anxiety, including mindfulness techniques and sensory grounding exercises, plus a specially pre-recorded guided sensory meditation. I would like to thank Angela Lynn and the team at Collectively Rooted for hosting today. I am thrilled to introduce AjoiA. I'm Anthony, and as you'll see in a second, that's Andrew. We are part of a transmedia company that is revolutionizing the way we approach well-being. Our mission is to help people feel better and perform better through a fusion of music, technology, art, and performance. I've spent the last 25 years as a musical director, composer, and record producer. And through personal experience and an illness I had in August 2021, as well as struggling with anxiety and many years of trauma counseling, I decided to dedicate my time to creating a company that could help others feel better. At AjoiA, we believe that our unique approach will help individuals achieve a state of optimal well-being, allowing them to reach their full potential. Our innovative and dynamic platform is being designed to engage the senses and inspire the soul. Our goal is to provide a refuge from the chaos of information overload and to offer a unique approach that inspires all people from all backgrounds. As we all know, in a world where information overload is everywhere, it can be challenging to navigate and find the right path to optimal health and well-being. So over the last year, we have dedicated ourselves to creating a platform to help individuals achieve a state of optimal well-being. Today, as part of our presentation, we have pre-recorded a sonic meditation and sensory journey where vibrations from ancient instruments and modern technology come together to create a unique and transformative experience to entrain or drive physiological rhythms into a state of calmness and reducing stress. Please allow yourself to be enveloped in a world of harmonious resonance where the mind and body can release tension and find a state of deep relaxation. AjoiA Connects is a community space for you to let go and connect with the healing power of sound, ask questions, and make new connections. If you have any questions as we work through this episode, please feel free to write them in the chat, and we will aim to answer them all at the end if we have enough time. Thanks again, and I will now at this point hand over to Andrew, who will take over for the next section before our meditation.
Hello, everybody. I'm very conscious that people are tuning in from all over the world. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's wonderful to know, even though all of you can't be seen, it's wonderful, it's heartwarming to know that you're all out there taking your time to go from a thought that, oh, well, maybe I'll check these guys out. What are they doing? What is it? Who are they? What is it? Have I got half an hour to spare? And from that thought, you took action and you're here. So first of all, I'd like to give heartfelt gratitude that you are here. It's always very humbling, strangers meeting in this way. So thank you for your time and your commitment. And then I'd like to offer what it is to men in this situation from the UK are presenting, are offering, are doing here even. How did we get on this Zoom presentation, this AjoiA presentation? So I earn my living now as a therapist, a psychotherapeutic counselor, somatic experience practitioner, and a craniosacral therapist, as well as a sound therapist. And before that, I was a full-time musician touring for 30 years. That was my profession. And before that, I was a plumber for 9 years. And before that, I was an angry, anxious, couldn't sit down young man who was asked to leave school at 15 and happily obliged and left. So anxiety has been running through my system, my body, my thoughts, my decisions. I would offer since the moment I was created, but maybe that's another story we'll get into another time. But certainly my earliest upbringing, I have learned through my own therapy, absolutely caused me anxiety. So in my earliest beginnings as a baby, anxiety was rife. And I'm going to explain a little bit more of that because it's going to flow into what we're doing here and what AjoiA will be presenting as our sonic meditation. So how can a baby whose cognitive mind is nowhere near prepared, ready, has grown to work things out, to know what it is, let alone its environment, who the people are? How would a baby become anxious? So this is where the body comes in, rather than the mind, the nervous system that we all have, that many, many living beings have. And because our mind isn't cognitively prepared, ordered, ready, has grown enough, that actually all we are at the earliest age is a nervous system. And what we smell, what we touch, what we're tasting, what we're hearing and seeing is all our environment. All our senses are hyper ready to potentially, and hopefully in the best of situations, bring comfort and safety. We recognize the usual voice. Maybe we're tasting the mother's milk. We smell the smells of the people who are holding us, washing us, feeding us. We see them as much as we can, the blurred, the colors, potentially. So if in that situation, in our earliest birth situation, those environments are constantly changed. So in my own personal situation, I was removed from my birth mother at 10 days old. Went into the foster system for some months. So I was removed to some other people, then went to some other people, then went to a foster family. I was there for 5 months and then got adopted. So in the first 6 months of my creation, my beginning, I moved 6 times. So all my smells, all my visions, all my tastes, the voices, all what I saw constantly changed. I didn't feel safe. And that erupted in my life through my childhood, through my adolescence, through my young adulthood, and quite a chunk of my adulthood. I was full of anxiety. And so sometimes when there may be, when I'm anxious, I have no real reason why. Or maybe we can't remember, it's not in our recent history, but maybe it's in our earliest beginnings and we haven't given that thought, felt, maybe for good reason. And I would offer that it actually doesn't matter. We don't need to know exactly why we feel anxious. We're anxious. And if we're feeling that, our symptoms, our churning stomachs, our sweating for no reason, our hyper alertness, nausea, aches, pains, difficulty sleeping, concentrating. And I also feel about bruxism, teeth grinding. That happens a lot when we're sleeping, which goes to prove that even when the being is asleep, the anxiety and the charge and the activation of that anxiety is still alive. It's still rampant. It doesn't sleep. And we can literally smooth our teeth down by the amount of gnawing we're doing, which requires teeth guards, etc. Our dreams and nightmares, and etc. So in my own work with clients who suffer with anxiety, I have found an immense, and also in my own personal journey, which all my therapies I have received in large amounts before I've gone and then trained. So to go into my body rather than the dates and times and what might be's and who said who's and etc. But to actually get to the most outside edge, the most comfortable, uncomfortable point of my anxiety and remain there and sense what my anxiety feels like at the most outside edge, not running into the center, not trying to sort it all out. We've got 2 days and I've got to remedy my anxiety. No, just to be with it. We can be so fast. We don't want to stay still when we're anxious much of the time. Our thoughts are going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Our actions can be just as fast. So to have an opportunity to even dare to slow down in a chair, to breathe, and on the most outside edge, that is a place to start, first of all. To think about the chair, to think about ourselves in that chair, how our feet are, what's my breath like. You don't need to change necessarily the breath, just to feel the rhythm of one's own breath. That's your rhythm. That's how you breathe in this situation. And to think about a chair. How's my body feeling in this chair? How are my feet on this carpet or in my shoes, on a pillow, on a cushion? Just very, very gently drop anchor in our anxiety, not to fight our anxiety, not to try and banish it, not to argue with it. I wish you would go. It just adds fuel to the fire. So this is an option to leave those thoughts and speed there, and to gently go to another place, which is us, ourselves. And for some, our bodies aren't safe for many reasons. So we can start at the tips of our toes and stay there. We could start with a tree, staring at a tree, put our feet in earth on grass and feel that. Just as starting points to drop anchor in a sea of anxiety. And we now offer you, that is AjoiA now offer you a sonic meditation, sound and words to aid and offer to drop anchor. So thank you. Become aware of your feet, where they are, how they are, and what they're in connection with. Socks, slippers, shoes, trainers. How do they feel? Are they comfortable? Are they tight? Can they be removed? Either way, what's the material that's in connection with your feet? The socks, the tights, the carpet, the wooden floor, the tiles, whatever it may be. Just to consider how the bottom of your feet feels in connection with the top of the surface that it's meeting. To gently and slowly move your toes if necessary, your heels if necessary. If your feet were to communicate anything with you, what might that be? And if possible, to allow their request, gently and slowly. Then to be aware of the seat that you're sat in. And like most of us, most seats have feet and legs, arms and backs, and headrests. The whole reason seats and chairs are created is to offer comfort and holding and support. And in that way, whatever one is comfortable to release into that chair, to do so. The chair has us. The seat is for us. The back of the chair literally has our back. We can let go. Breathe. We need to breathe. And to know our breath is available to us. To imagine, if you can, and you're welcome to close your eyes if you haven't already, and to image the most heaviest, strongest anchor that you can. And imagine it floating to the bottom of any substance that suits you. Maybe it's the deepest ocean. Maybe it's honey, sand, any fluid. This anchor is so heavy, so strong. It goes through any surface gently and slowly, sinking and sinking to the very depths, whatever it is, till it hits the floor, the surface. And it's rock, anchor, steady. From that anchor, it's connected to the most flexible, softest, strongest material, whatever that may be. This is your image, your imagination, your meditation. And that material is connected to the anchor and then flows through to you. And wherever you choose for it to be connected to, you might hold it. Once you hold it, it stays with you until you decide otherwise. Maybe through your belt, maybe around your waist. Wherever it feels comfortable for you, be connected to this strong, flexible material that's connected to the strong, heavy anchor, which enables us to flow through choppier waters with our breath. With our feet, with our beings, knowing that the support, the weight and strength of the anchor is always there. And if that choppier environment takes us into a bit more anxiety than what we're handle, then we come back, we breathe, we come back into our feet, our seat, our back, and we pendulate back away from the over anxiety into a place where we can manage and breathe. And in that experience of pendulation, the most outside edge of the roughest water, we come back. And each time in that pendulation, we have a feeling that we're okay. Offering that pendulation slowly, less is more, slower is faster way. That pendulation can begin to widen with each movement. Because the anchor is always there and we are always connected to it unless we choose otherwise. Find your anchor. Find your feet, your seat, your breath. When you are ready, if you haven't already, begin to blink your eyes to open. Maybe thank your anchor. Thank the parts of your body. Thank you, potentially. Anything else you may be grateful for, offer thanks, if appropriate. When your eyes have been blinked to open, just really gently and slowly look all around the room that you're in. Let your nervous system once again become accustomed. Look around the room really slowly, even though you've been in that room so many times. Just do it really slowly. The corners, the ceiling, the floor. doors, the windows, behind you, in front of you. Settle back into your environment. Move any part of your body that may need moving. Your toes, your fingers, your head, your neck, your chin, your jaw. And breathe. Thank you.
Thanks. Seems strange saying thanks to something we pre-recorded earlier in a weird sort of way. But there's people saying, thank you very much. I really appreciate the integration of music. I feel that with this being the very start of our journey, I think this has been a nice, easy way to begin. And a lot of what Andrew's talked about are things that have really helped me. There was a few occasions specifically when, especially in lockdown in COVID, where I rang in completely anxious, in a right mess, and Shovell's suggesting some of the things that he's talking about today, about dropping anchor, and I really had no understanding of what these kinds of things even meant. My brain wasn't in those spaces. But slowly, little steps, I realized I could use these tools. I could find these things that were able to become a regular thing in my life. Yeah. So someone's yeah.
I'd like to, well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you again. That everyone who joined is still here, it seems. So that's always a good thing. So thank you for that. And then to offer that so often in therapy, and this is no disrespect, it's more about maybe bringing into our vision about our bodies that sometimes can be so much left behind because we're all so much in our heads, which can cause anxiety. And we need to know so much. When, how, who, when, how many times? Well, what should I do? What's going to happen? What did I do in the past? How will I be in the future? We forget where we are in the now, which creates anxiety. So to go to the body and also sonically through sound, no questions, no demands, no, you have to remember. There's none of that. It's more, if as much as possible, to be with yourself and to receive consciously created therapeutic sonic sounds. And so our idea is to take the pressure off us knowing everything, which can possibly turn down the dial of anxiety in a way that we haven't experienced before. So that's our aim, and we continue to offer that in various ways. So, Anthony, I'm conscious we've got about a minute left. So I'd just like to say that we, AjoiA Connects, we are here every last Tuesday of each month. So the next one will be the 27th of June, Tuesday, 7 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So whatever that is in your own countries and place. And you're all incredibly welcome. Incredibly welcome. It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
blues, yeah.
Yeah,